Say hi, Mark. He's outside. And this is SmokeySteveAndMarc. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Friday. Steven has a scheduled day off of work today. Every other Friday, I have a half day of work, so if I take a couple hours PTO, give myself a long weekend. So here we are. I've been thinking it was Saturday most of the day today for some reason. Um, just wanted to pop on, maybe share a few thoughts, see who might be in the community. Recently, in the future, Foodie Beauty, it's a 6 hour live stream. We're doing basically a telethon. We're doing a telethon. 6 hours to raise enough money for her to go back to Canada. In the mix of that is discussion of money for a scooter, which apparently some profoundly handicapped person decided Chantal deserved her generosity and was going to buy her a scooter. I think Wanda is the name of the woman they throw it around. So I just thought I'd pop on, see who's around, share a few thoughts. Mark's outside. He's doing his wake up routine, coffee and arthritis medication. So his hands are tied up at the moment. This is brunch with Steve, but 10 grand. Actually, since I want 10 grand, you should probably send closer to like 13, 14. So when YouTube takes their cut, I'll still have a cool, just saying. Just saying is all. Brunch is a popsicle with pretzels, because that's how we roll. And I'm going to try to skip glasses if I can. 10 grand and a mobility scooter. That's all a girl needs to be happy. 10 grand and a mobility scooter. Or immobility scooter. Hey, Margaret, how are you? Mike, Mayor. It is earlier in the day, I know, and it's on a Friday. But this is also a chance to catch people I never catch. I'm never usually, like, on a weekday doing a live of any kind. So, I... like, this bee. Yeah, scooter in the dead winter of Canada. It's going to need a little plow on the front of it so it can plow the snow out of her way as she goes through. She's ridiculous. And, like, she doesn't... I mean, if she's going to go full handicapped and just give in to her temptations and say, you know what, I'm not going to fight it. I have a mental health problem that manifests physically, and it's made me immobile. I'm talking nicely here. And I'm just going to get a scooter. It'll help me be more mobile. There's a school of thought that mobility scooters help people with mobility problems lose more mobility. So she's going to Canada, Margaret, but she's doing a telethon to get her back there. Villa 2.0 is what it's being framed as. She's trying to get people's appetite wet for, that old sloppy, high, dramatic. We weren't really thrilled watching it, but she had 5 times the audience at the time when she was just a train wreck. So I think she's thinking she'll go back there. So, oh my lady, hello. You too, Kathy Ann? I was just popping on to let you guys know. I need a new, let's see, what do I need? I need a new TV. I need new things. Hello, Christine. I can't imagine holding a telethon for myself. Liz Taylor, hello. No, the cat is going to stay with Salah because they've bonded. These are all the talking points at the moment. Now, the double over of this, now she's running a telethon, is that she had allegedly set up an apartment. And she was going to go, she had paid a deposit, no deposit first month, or some very sketchy situation she alleged that she did. And then she said, I think I was scammed. So I need all that money I panhandled, I need it again because I was stupid. How to lose friends and alienate people. She should write a book. 2 new cats when she settled in, but, I mean, if she got a dog, I mean, I'm sure there's dog lovers that love cats too. But if she did get a canine, there would be like much more backlash, much more outrage than if she had just got a cat. And when she means settled, we're talking Chantal time. She means later in the day when she gets there. If she got a dog, I might be tempted to do like real time reactions. I'm not a dog person, but dogs are far too loyal for her. She doesn't, I don't know. Yeah, if FG will get the dog too. I just can't see doing it, but she's doing it. Oh God, yeah. Whenever there's the choice of two things to do, rest assured she will do the wrong thing. She will always do the selfish thing. She will always do the more self-serving thing. I think because she has she's only going to be able to find like a high rise or a place that's handicap accessible, because she's not going to be able to get out of her car, get on a scooter, and drive it into her apartment unless she's on a first floor flat ranch style with not even a few steps. Or she's in a high rise type thing where there's an elevator and it's all flat. So can't walk herself. No, but then of course we've decided, guess what? You can walk a dog with a Jazzy. We're planning for we're getting excited for a state of disability that is on the way. This, I can't walk more than 2 or 3 steps. First of all, if there was a platter of Nashies half a mile away, she'd run. It's not I can't, it's I won't. It's I won't. It's not I can't. There's a difference. There's people with... I feel no more sympathy for Chantal not being able to walk than if she cut off her own legs. She did it to herself. She didn't ask for a mental illness that would manifest in her being 275 pounds overweight, but here we are. It's not news. And sicker people, more mentally ill and heavier, have lost weight, got sane, and went on with life. They didn't start embracing the horror, if to say so. No, she'll just get the pee pads. That's what it'll be. It'll smell like dog in her house. How often do you think she cleaned the litter box? And if you don't, the cats will go everywhere, or they'll find other little places to go. That's why Julia shit her bed, probably. Yeah, if she's got the clot mare, that's not good. Get on another 10-hour flight with thrombosis. Yeah, deep vein thrombosis. Let's see at what altitude the clot will pop. I don't mean to make light of her dangerous health problems, but she does. She won't take it out. No, unless a family member sees how poorly she's treating it and they volunteer to take it. At which point Chantal will, give it away and say it was stolen. Yeah, something. There's a lot of places that won't. Unless she pulls... Now, in the U.S., if you want to have your pet, it's at least Pennsylvania, if not the whole U.S., there are things called emotional support animals. This is different than a service animal. A service animal would have to be trained to work with a person for a specific ailment. An emotional support animal needs no formal training, actually. They just need to provide you with some level of comfort, and you need a doctor's note. Now, I don't know. Canada tends to be even more lenient than the US when it comes to things like that. But can you see her rolling around with a service dog? Like with a vest on? Mr. McPhoebes, hello! Have a good night at work. Have a good day at work. Don't work too hard. Don't work too hard. Hey, Andy, I saw you fly by. Like, we have pets, but our last place they didn't want us to have pets. But here we do, but we pay more. We pay an extra $50 or something a month for the pets, and they have their own pet deposit, too. So, a good service animal, one that's well-trained, but what would it do for her? Go to the fridge? Like, what does she need the animal to do? When she finally does keel over, she'll want the dog there to go get help. Like, I can see her wanting to have a dog. and maybe pass it off as a service animal, what service would it provide for her? I know that there's dogs that can lick you and test your blood sugar. There's all sorts of things animals can do. They're fascinating creatures. But no animal should suffer her. You've seen the way she treats apartments and the way that she treats cats. Dogs, I think, are less independent than cats. So, yeah, between the background checks, I don't think so. I know, the emotional support animal. And people bring them into stores and restaurants. And there's a level where you can't bring your emotional support animal into my restaurant. It has to be well trained. It has to be within the control of the owner. Otherwise, you can't just walk a pit bull into the middle of the mall and be, absolved of responsibility because you're tenderhearted, so you have a dog. I always refer to Oscar or Bandit as my emotional support animals, but they're not officially on the books. We pay the deposit. I didn't put the landlord over a barrel and say, you have to let me have this pet. Landlords can be vindictive if you try to force their hand with pets like that. So I think a lot of people hate her. You know what I think, Liz Taylor? I think hate's a strong word, but it comes from so many people. And what happens when I'm watching Chantal is that people that I know in real life are kind, generous, thoughtful. She tickles a part of the human experience that is infuriating. There's so many aspects of life that she's throwing away that when you think, God, people would beg for the things that she throws away. And it's like she hates, it draws it out of you. And everyone knows a Chantal. I said that 1,000 times. Everyone knows someone kind of like her. And you don't like them in real life either. Her, the immaturity, the total lack of accountability and responsibility. That's nice, no deposit. We have hardwood floors. The cats, the most they would do is scratch the door frames, probably. Roll, yeah. Amberlynn Reed ran so Chantal could fly. Roll. I mean, okay. People hate their actions. I roll with that. I was brought up Catholic, and that's kind of how it goes. Ran. No. She continuously tries to put herself right next to Amberlynn Reed. She always tries to say, those mean people are saying things about us. They ain't no us. Chantal was like reaching. Now I know Amberlynn popped in and made a donation for the teleathon that we're having right now to make enough money to send Foodie Beauty home, and she's gonna have to go like in the equivalent of steerage. She might have to like put herself in a box and be shipped. I don't know that she's going to actually be able to get on the plane. We're already leaving the cat. Is she going to need 2 seats? So far, every time she's flown, I think she's had 2 seats and just manipulated them. I don't think she's bought 2. So, Amber just wants attention. She's always just wanted attention. Amber lives for attention. She'd die without it. That's just been how she is. That's just been how she rolls. So, I like Amber less than Chantal. For what it's worth nothing. But for what it's worth, I like Amber less than Chantal. Chantal, I think, at least has something close to a sense of humor. Chantal, periodically, I mean like twice a year, can laugh at herself. I don't think Amberlynn Reed ever can. She always wants to be taken very seriously. These walking jokes that want to be taken seriously. More Smokies, bring them in. Bring them in. She doesn't need. She's not that fat from the side. She not that fat from the side. She doesn't. It's like a big person who like rolled over and was like compressed, like a panini, just flattened, so she sticks straight up in the seat, but not sideways. So as long as she's just putting her girth on top of the tray, which she can't fold down, then she can fit on the plane. And she said she'd be utilizing handicap services to get to and from. When she got off the plane, she was just so hot. Everyone's hot and tired, but other people aren't so hot and tired that they need a wheelchair and two people to get them around. There's a line between disability and laziness. There is a line between the two. She's towing that line, I think. I think the fact that she's not having difficulty walking, it's not like she all of a sudden has a bad knee or she was in an accident. This is the ongoing consequence of actions that started probably when she was 10. And like every other problem Chantal has, instead of fixing it herself, she made it somebody else's. Thank the person who took the bait and is now going to be vehemently defensive of Wanda because she offered to buy the whole thing. Why? Why? She's not going to be driving it through Syria. I don't know how the sidewalks are, but I'm going to guess they're not all they could be. And she's getting home just in time for winter, so she can't be able to use it in Canada exactly. It's always somebody else's fault, Mary. You're 100% right. It is always somebody else's fault. And it's somebody else's job to fix it. Not only did she not do it, somebody else's job to fix the mess that she made. Poop, Scoot, and Foodie. Wasn't that a country song? Right down the country past the city limit signs, and there's a honky tonk. For the rest of brunch, we're having unsalted mini pretzels. Because I'm getting old, so there's a lot of stuff in the fridge that says it's salt-free. I remember that song from the early 90s. I was watching The Real World Los Angeles. It was the second season of The Real World. And one of the characters, one of the people on the show was a country singer. And he sang that song but over and over and over. Every time he performed, it was the only song he sang. Oh, the butter snaps are good. Butter snaps are very good. But, yeah. Kathy, let's not, we don't want to forget, she's she's in her 40s. She's in her 40s. Don't let the lack of wrinkles due to the tension of her skin fool you. She's old enough to know better. By almost anybody's standards. She's old enough to know better. So. I just don't give a crap. I don't see her taking accountability. I don't believe what she's saying right now at all. I don't believe she's telling the truth. And she's collecting money at the same time. When you lie and collect money at the same time, there's words for that. Well, the bagel's a start, Christine. Hopefully something else will stick. Something else will stay down. Hopefully. Oh. So, just so we're all on the same page. I love the sourdough niblets. If I ever sit here and say, hey guys, I'm going to be on for 6 hours, and you damn well better pay up for the privilege of being here. No, I don't think at all she put the deposit on the apartment. I think she collected money for a deposit, gave it to Salah, took it somewhere else, lied about it, and then to create a story where she needs even more money. Because she needs more money because she was scammed. But that's the scam. She's saying she was scammed. Throw out a smoke bomb. Disappear stage left. That's how she operates. And every new beezer who comes in with a checkbook, she knows exactly how to talk to them. She'll go into the chat. I never begged for a scooter. Who said I begged for a scooter? Find where I said it today. I don't need one, but they're only $1,200 on Amazon. No, somehow we know the price. And we know to mention the price in front of someone who has enough money to buy it. Those things aren't accidents. Those are calculated. You can say, I didn't make them. I didn't make her send me money. She just wanted to. You manipulate people. She manipulates people so that they feel a false sense of closeness. And then she takes advantage of that. So. It's funny to think it's true. it would be kind of Chantal-esque, but I mean, how does she, like, she could have got scammed by, you know, a troll who just said, here's an apartment, send me money, and took her money. She will yes, she will manipulate the F out of you, and you will like it. She made this very clear. Get a couple drinks in her. Maybe when the hijab comes off, she'll have a drink or two again. Her worst substance is alcohol. It's truth serum. It's truth serum. She gets very sarcastic, very hurtful, very spiteful. So I think Salah was getting something out of it up until this point. And I think now that he's surrounded by family and friends, and he's in his own spot, and he's really building life over, I think that it's just not something that he's going to be on board for. He's not going to be interested in all of her nonsense. She's a ball and chain. She wants to talk about Pete's as a ball and chain. What in the F does she think she is to Salah? She's just this ATM that he has to drag everywhere. Yeah, she blocks people who do donate when they figure it out, and I think it's not okay. It's not illegal. Chantal has this idea of like legal and ethical and moral, and that as long as something isn't too far against the rules, she's not a bad person for doing it. Because, you know, it's just her being her. She's just flighty. She's just whimsical. His family really does like me. You know, they've been nothing but kind. You told us, like, not that long ago that if you're found dead, it was them. And now they're okay? Now they're friendly? If you're gonna lie, you gotta pick a tone and carry it through at least a few videos. I mean, hey Panda, I saw you come through. How are you? Sometimes, if she's apartment hunting, I can't believe someone didn't scam her. A hater didn't try to scam her. Send me money, I have a place. It's either totally made up, or she actually did it because she's so dense and she lost the money. I lean towards it's made up. It's an excuse to ask for even more. I can ask for even more money now because look what else bad happened to me. She refers you to Mark as the guys? The gay guys? I don't care. I've been one of the nicer folks to Chantal over time. So I've cut her a lot more breaks, and I'm one of the only people that ever said she could turn all this around. Most people have given up hope, and frankly I did, but I've seen sicker people get better. I've seen bigger people get smaller. I've seen ruder people get nicer. I've seen crazier people get sane. You know, I've been in and around addiction and mental health for 15 years, and I see people like her, and I see people like her do better. But sitting around with a telethon, I mean, if she wants to make 6 hours of content, that's fine. And then ask for money. 6 hours of content's a lot of work. 6 hours of, I'm not getting off till you pay me. I don't know. I mean, she can do it. No one has to give her money. But it says a lot about them if they do. And it says a lot about her for receiving it. That's all. She's not breaking any laws. Even if she's not breaking TOS, it's still, I think, in poor taste. I don't know. Acknowledging the issue, Andy. Being able to say, maybe it's me. Those 3 words could save Chantal's life. Maybe it's me. The whole world starts to look different when you stop blaming them and start to think about what your part of everything is. You know, and some people get that through trauma, and some people just are born like that. They just know how to negotiate the world. I didn't. She doesn't. And I don't mind Chantal's disrespect. She disrespects everybody. Just to be, it's like being nominated without winning. No, I haven't done long-form videos about Chantal in a very long time. We're talking COVID, maybe 21, 22. They were well received too, but, you know, she's a lot to keep up with. I had a full-time job. I still do. There's no way I can give up an entire weekend to Foodie Beauty. I keep up now, bits and pieces, reactors, stuff that I read, stuff people send me, and that's how I kind of stay in the loop as to what's going on with her. So, I used to watch Garlic Bread a little bit. He has up now just all long form reactions. He hasn't had one of his short, like few minute, 3 to 15 minute videos that he does as a recap. And he hasn't had one of those up in a while. The Zoom Zooms. Yes, Andy, I remember. I remember doing those. I would watch all of it, zoom, fly through, watch another few minutes, zoom, zoom, fly through. But that was at a time like you could watch our channel and I could tell you blow by blow what was happening. Now I kind of share a few things she's doing and share a few opinions for the other folks who already do watch her. So it's not as much informative as it used to be back then, where I could say, here's what she did this week. Now, for the folks who know what she did this week, here's a, GB is doing live now. A lot of us are. I could see him doing live now. A lot of people are. Here we are. I'll say this for Gorlick. I like his recorded content better than his lives. I wish he would go back and do more. Remember the zoom zoom? Gotta get that zoom zoom zoom. We were in our first apartment. It was always coffee talk. I always would have my coffee. I would say, it's the weekend. You know what that means. I put stuff in my coffee because all week I drank black coffee at the time, so I would put cream in my coffee, and an unfinished basement. So unfinished basement, of course, meant that I wasn't wearing any underwear, but that's what makes it the weekend. So that was kind of the lead-in to those videos. Then, as time went on a little bit, we started with the intro to the intro, where I would do a little bit of a spin on some ridiculous bit of nonsense she said this week. The summarizing, I mean, after a while, I had to say, what does it say about me if I give away every Saturday to this woman? So I pulled back, and we pulled back on doing a lot of the more detailed, you can see my video and see everything that's going on with her, and more just sharing some opinions about what's happening. So, I mean, I have no personal investment anymore in Chantal. I don't personally believe in her. I'm not disappointed when she, behaves a certain way. I have no investment in her. Problem for her is I don't think anybody else does anymore either. And so if you're not, living for community, you're just living for yourself. And of course she said she has to put herself first now, because that's a change. She's going to put herself first. It's just, Now, as far as Pete's goes, Pete's being in the back somewhere as far as her Canada plans are going. The repeated thing is that she's going to be going end of October. I think she wants to get out of there as soon as possible. And I think getting back to where she is on familiar territory sounds good, but she's not as excited. She's not going back to Villa 2.0. She can't afford Villa 2.0. Unless she's saved from every grift. I mean, we started with what? With the kitten. Then we went to Sasa. Then it was $5,000. Then it was $10,000. And now she has a more a la carte kind of menu if you want to buy her stuff. Jazzies. Clothes. Bless her nothing. Anyone dumb enough to give money to Chantal gets what they deserve. I think. I mean, I hate to say it like that because I've given money to Chantal. I had $5, 1,000 years ago, but nevertheless, I did. And what were my motives? I was emotionally drawn in by what she was talking about. I related to what she was talking about, and she looked upset. I wanted a way to send a message to her, and so I sent a super chat. Everything was contrived except me feeling bad for her. She didn't actually have those feelings going on at the time. She was just being impulsive. She was just having a moment because she retracted everything she was upset about later. But for the time she was emotional, she totally meant it, and that totally made her feel better. Just because I'm a thankless bee now doesn't mean that I wasn't emotional, vulnerable, and broke at the time that you sent me money. So I don't know, but she's got with a 2 in there now. Pete's, she has a use for Pete's, but not, Pete's is never going to do for her what she thinks a Middle Eastern man, a dominant man, is going to be able to do for her. She has no expectations that Pete's can do all that. I mean, they've had an intimate relationship. Apparently, they were pregnant a couple times. So, she's there with it. But Pete's has nothing for her. There's no fantasy with Pete's. She has no Middle Eastern fantasy of riding a magic carpet with Pete's. You know, she wants to be a princess, particularly a Middle Eastern princess. Pete's can't give her that. He's going to give her the best that supplemented income from the government can provide. She wants and thinks she deserves more than that. We all know the truth, but she thinks that she deserves and is entitled to more than anything Pete's could offer her. But you have to look around at Chantal's life. You notice no very wealthy men swing through and say, "Hey, little lady, I'll make it all right." I don't think she would know what to do with someone who was that dominant. She says she wants to be dominated, but then she does all the dominating. She picks people that she can one up in some aspect. Always in some aspect, she can one you up. A lot of times it's money, but not always with the guy she goes for. But she goes trolling on, like, Tinder. So, Edgar, you made it, you made it. Well, it's okay if you're just listening. You're not missing anything except for me throwing my hands around and rolling my eyes. So, don't feel left out. Don't feel left out. So, again, if we take the step here to hold the telethon, we've gotten very far away from where we started. No hobbies, no interests, no friends, no relation, no goals. Chantal doesn't have any goals. The only reason to get up is to eat and see who's talking about her. Eat and see who's talking about her. Hello, Linda, how are you? I'm usually not available on a weekday during the day. This is a special treat for me also. But there's reasons she has no friends. There's reasons that people don't trust her. She acts like she was struck by lightning. She's, again, 3 words that could save her life. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's you, Chantal. Maybe it's not everybody else. Maybe everybody else isn't an asshole. Maybe you're the asshole. That's step 1. There doesn't necessarily have to be 12 steps. That's not for everybody. It wasn't for me. But step 1 is usually, coming clean with yourself. I think people would actually cut her a break if she was like, yeah, I know, I made some shit decisions. I was just thinking of me. If she could disclose that much, it would be really endearing. Not fake, let's relate to each other endearing, but like real community building, real connecting with people. She doesn't want that. She wants the appearance of it. She wants just enough of it to send her a few bucks. She wants to dominate the partner. She always talks like she wants someone to take control. But she wants, bottom line, to be in charge. Behind the scenes. And Chantal lives for behind the scenes. She assumes behind the scenes everybody is just as grimy as her. She thinks all of us make shit up. All of us lie about our weight. All of us overeat in secret. All of us do all the things she does. We just don't do it on camera. And somehow she's brave for broadcasting it. Because she's just being herself. Filming yourself indulging in a bunch of little addictions isn't brave. It's spectacle. And, if it was such a good time, you'd do it for free. So, Chantal said years ago, especially when it comes to food, I'm going to eat it anyway, I might as well make some money. That's the truest thing she ever said about mukbangs, and it's been true ever since. If I'm going to eat it, I might as well make a little money. So, all these guys. She's due for another one if she gets back to Canada. This, my heart, my husband, my this, my nothing. My nothing. She was pissed that he wasn't more upset about the breakup. Why would he be upset? You're breaking up. You said it was amiable, which means it was his idea, probably. I mean, I would, yeah, exactly. Even in private, there's plenty of things people in private do not do that Chantal does on screen. And she can just say, oh, I'm being flighty, I'm being a free spirit, you guys are just judging me, I'm just doing my thing. She's not finding herself in her 20s. She's midlife. She's got more years behind her than ahead of her, frankly. And I'm just playing the odds, per the National Institute of Health. If you put all the averages together, she probably should have been dead a few months ago. But somehow she's still kicking. And rather than take advantage of that, she pushes it further. How much further can I get away with doing nothing? How much further can I push it? How much further can I get away with things? How much more can I eat before I can't walk anymore? And then now not being able to walk. First of all, like it wasn't coming. This has been coming for hundreds of pounds that she wouldn't be able to walk. And once she's on a scooter, she's Jen. Because she goes from the scooter to the couch, scooter to the couch, to the bed, to the scooter, to the couch, to the bed. And then it turns into her not being able to walk because the bit that she's doing, she stops. And she can't do anything. And then she gets to play helpless like a damsel in distress. She is not a wilting damsel in distress. A 450-pound Muslim woman on a jazzy is not a damsel in distress. Nobody's going to look at that and go, I need to swoop in and fix that. There's no Prince Charming that's going to look at that and go, ooh, that's for me. It's just not happening. It is a dangerous game, and she's going to lose. None of us get out of this alive. You know, it's mostly a matter of when and how. And she's making a lot of those decisions for herself while she's alive. She would. She was the first person I knew who was on Ozempic. Like either online or in my real life, she was the first person I knew who was on it. Now it seems like everybody is. My flexible spending account with my job will pay for like a generic form of Ozempic. It's recommended through them. I know that she said she wants weight loss surgery. She's not going. This is the carrot on the stick. I'm a great person. Sure, I'm fat now, but I won't be forever. She's been talking about weight loss surgery forever and ever and ever and ever. She's never going to go. She'll never make she'll never pass the shrink, but she won't go to the appointment. When she makes an appointment, she has the satisfaction of actually having gone. Because only she's going to know that she didn't go. But she is confident in the lie. Skin surgery. She has to lose the weight first. Otherwise, they're just cutting off giant 100-pound chunks of fat. It doesn't work like... If it worked like that, other people would be doing it. She would, but she would leave an aminal. That's what I was saying when we were talking about canines. I think more people would come up with venom for her if she got a dog than another cat. That's the thing, Yarn. Her hobby is eating. She likes it. The Ozempic killed her appetite, which is how she lost weight. It'd be like giving Antabuse to someone who wasn't ready to quit drinking. You know, you're going to ruin my drinking. I'm not done yet, so don't do it. But for show, I have to at least pretend like I care, because it looks bad to be as big as she is and say you don't care. She should at least have some sort of plan, some sort of something. Fat people don't owe it to thin people to be on a diet forever, and yes, fat people are allowed to eat what they want on YouTube, but all of these freewheeling choices, and this is where we're at now. She's too big for clothes, and she's too fat to walk. And somehow, she points the finger out. Very unkind things about people who've had weight loss surgery. She thinks it's a quick fix. I know people in real life who've had the weight loss surgery and treated it like a quick fix, and that from their top weight they lost maybe 150 pounds or so, but then gained it all back, all but maybe 50, because nothing really changed. That's great, Kathy. I'm very happy to hear. Coming off meds is always exciting. Weight loss, also always exciting to have happen. I have a few coworkers. Mark had a few coworkers when he was still working that were using it too, and they were having good results. The only negative I heard from people is that some people had, like what Chantal reported, like upset stomach. Rather than just not being hungry, her stomach was turned a little bit. I know when my stomach was upset for the last, what, well, I wouldn't say 30 years, but we'll say February on, I had a bunch of weight fall off. Not in a healthy or exciting way. Like now I'm trying to watch what I'm eating. I went out for a walk this morning for about 45 minutes and trying to be healthier. But at that, in the last bit of time, the weight just kind of fell off of me from not eating. So. CPTSD is a nightmare. It's exactly what it is. It's complex. So much of what I used to do to eat had zero to do with how I looked or working out. I wasn't. My thing was always, how little can I eat and still be alive? That was the goal of my eating disorder. How little can I eat and still stay alive? I don't think she does. I don't think she views things. I think she thinks, how much can I eat and stay alive? I think it's on the opposite end of the spectrum. Hey, Pixie. I think it's on the far end of things. How much can she eat and not die? How far can she push it before something bigger gives? You put her in a jazzy, she's going to be a life by Jen. I'm telling you, she's going to go from the bed to the jazzy to the toilet, and then we're going to hit a certain point where she's going to need Pete's to do things for her. If she gets into a jazzy, she's not going to be able to wipe her own ass by the time she's 45. I know her going up and down the streets in a jazzy, her going through the McDonald's drive-thru in a jazzy. You ever see 600-Pound Life? There was a woman who went through in her jazzy to go through the McDonald's drive-thru. I mean, I think the lady had a vibe like she knew it was spectacle but was doing it anyway. Nothing original with Chantal. I've always called it a jazzy. I know they're mobility scooters, but jazzy is always the infomercial. When they like old people, they're like, and by the way, Medicare may pay for yours too. That's because they're meant for people that are elderly or to the point where they can't walk without assistance. Not won't walk without assistance. Not can't be bothered to walk without assistance. And the fact that she says she's under 350 is laughable. She's bigger than ever. She's bigger than ever. It's possible she lost some weight in Syria just because she wasn't in control of her own food. But Julia's staying with... Julia, I honestly believe, likes Salah better than her. So I don't think it's a big deal for her to leave it there because I don't think the cat likes her. I think she's probably jealous that the cat likes Salah more, which is why she, treats it poorly. She has a limp. She had a limp in the beach video. I thought she was just being dramatic. It was Kuwait, when she first got to Kuwait, because she was still leaving the fucking house. She had gone to the beach, and she was kind of to get around. And as she was moving, she was dragging her left foot behind her, kind of pulled to the side. Either that was a comfortable gait, or she lost use of it, or she was being dramatic. Ooh, let's throw out something else that'll make them talk, something else to make them gab. Right now, her shameless begging is what's drawing an audience, for the most part. And the spectacle of watching people believe her and reimburse her is stunning. It's stunning. Humans are fascinating, aren't we? No better example than one Miss Foodie Beauty. So, hover around. Yes, hover around. Yes, Vitamin. Well, we had Bandit poop on the bed once, and it was the first time we left and came back. Now, we would joke that the cat was angry, but, too clingy. She doesn't want... She wants a clingy partner, but she doesn't want them clingy to her. She wants a clingy pet, but not clingy to her. Like, she wants to be wanted. This is why Salah not being upset about the breakup was such a smack in the face. It's not like she cares, but he's supposed to care. He's supposed to be upset, and he's not following the rules of breakup, which is why, even though the breakup was amiable, because he wasn't upset after, the post-breakup wasn't amiable at all. Not amicable at all. So, hover around. What else does she need that we used to get on? Life alert bracelet. That'd be a good one too. As long as we're throwing in the towel and we're just gonna eat ourselves to death, what else do we need? We gotta get around. Life alert. She needs one of those Craftmatic adjustable beds to get her up and over, so she can load herself into the mobility scooter. I bet his family is the reason she's leaving. They can't stand her. I'm sure they've all been talking. And depending on the culture of the family, I don't mean Middle Eastern people. I mean, some families are just shit talkers. And they would stand around, write shit talk to her face. She doesn't know. She can't speak the language. She's only been there 3 years. I have an ex who learned French fluent enough in 2 years to be able to go to school. The clapper, so she doesn't have to get up for the lights, that's right. If she could hook up her fan and the AC to the clapper, I think we'd be in a good spot too. She will need, which we received a couple as a gift, and I know they're fabulous, the Swedish Reacher that you can squeeze the handle and it's a big stick. We have 2 of them. They were a gift. They're fantastic. I imagine she could use one as well. She could reach the top shelf in the grocery store. Exactly, Yarn. If she's going to give in, give in. If she's going to give in and just say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I had debated similar with my addiction. I thought, if I'm just going to not quit drinking, I'm going to have to build a life around it, which means I'm going to have to make sure I have enough money to get rides, enough money for cigarettes, you know, that I had a place to do it, that I was out of people's... Like, if I'm going to start to just build my life around not changing the things that are killing me, then life starts to look a little funny, too. Salah's not home! Salah's not home! In Chantal's, I would have opened the door and spit if somebody rang that many times. I know they were just looking after her. And they were doing it out of kindness to go check on her. But that bothered me, too. Oh, you're fine. You're not late. There's no real time frame. This is more of an impromptu. We just kind of popped in to share some thoughts because the Jerry Lewis telethon is going on right now. Chantal's trying to raise enough money to move without moving. To get from point A to point B without having to flex. And does she not get the image? The whole thing with the CPAP. When you sit there and smoke for 2.5 hours, thinking people will like start to draw a line between one and the other and go, are you really not helping yourself with that? Now, I smoked. I still have a few cigarettes. Of course smoking is bad. What is one of the most obviously bad things on the market? Now, I know she's smoking that, which is different, and it's healthier, and it's blah, and she says she's going to quit smoking when she gets back onto, Western territory. Don't believe it. She always makes shit up. In the moment, she'll say, oh, I'm going to quit. Anything to justify doing it right now. Well, I'll quit when I get back, so I'm just doing it now. This is my last hurrah. She lives for last hurrahs, fast food funerals, and the like. She's never been told no. No one's ever told her no. And this is the kind of adult it turns into. Her mother did her no favors. I think mom felt bad. I think grandma felt bad. So they did a little spoiling. And this is what happened. You have a 40-some-year-old child who can't negotiate the world on her own unless she does it kind of like on the sly. Like Chantal can't get a job, make money, find a place to live. Even as a YouTuber, she can't make her money, pay her taxes, go somewhere. Like, she's still... She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. So, I'm just happy. Hey, Corey, how are you? So, I'm not optimistic that she's going to actually have a jazz. Like when she gets back, she will. If it's free, she'll take it. If it's free, she'll take the jazzy. Oh, her family is done. She's in a war-torn country, broke, and she has to go online to grovel for handouts. Her family thinks so little of her, or they love her, but the boundaries are that strong. No, remember the last time she went, she had to take a bus from the airport. What? How does she explain that? Like, they don't like her. What could they have done to her that she wouldn't like them? You know? Adjusting, that's probably because I had my glasses off. My eyes are a little blurry. I am adjusting a little bit. We're getting less drooling. Little bit blurry vision, but that's okay. I wear glasses, so that's okay. And still a couple other things. So I am still adjusting a little bit, but I have to say I'm better than I was a week ago. I had to shut the live off because I was drooling, or I'm starting to drool. So I was like, yeah, we're done now. See you later. Bye. And I've been starving. I've been eating a lot in the last few days. I know I lost a bunch of weight from not eating, and now I have an appetite back, but it's like doubled over. Whatever part of your brain that THC tickles, these new medication I take tickles the same part. There's insatiable hunger and no sense of fullness. And the taste of everything is magnified. So it's one of the reasons Chantal loves her edibles. Her fix is food. You can dial it up further if you make the food experience more exciting by making the smells more intense, the tastes more intense, by killing the part of your stomach that tells you you're full so you can keep the experience going. It wasn't surprising to me that she likes to bees and have her edibles and smoke and then eat, you know. But it's like anything. I hear you, Rasco. Well, I was on Seroquel and that happened. I switched to, well, currently I'm on Zyprexa and it's killing me. I'm waking up hungry. I eat a meal. I'm hungry an hour later. So I'm trying to be responsible. I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I'm somewhat healthier through no fault of my own, through no credit of my own, I should say, as far as being thinner. So I'm trying to not blow that off. I'm trying to take advantage. I'm trying to be Foodie Beauty when the Coke weight came off. Sure, it wasn't an ideal way to lose weight, but since we've lost it, let's take advantage of the situation. That's kind of how I'm trying to look at my health and weight and food now. It wasn't ideal that I lost, you know, like 40 or so pounds just from not having an appetite and not keeping food down. But it is what it is. And I feel better now. And the gift to myself for feeling better would be to not gain that 40 pounds back. Just to say. So, well, folks, enough about me. And enough about her, I guess. So, we'll check in. We still check in on Sundays for Dinner with Steve, and I'll be here for that. Mark and I should have a video out in the next couple days. We will be filming. So, you know, keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for a recorded video. And thank you for joining me for brunch, snack time, whatever you'd like to call it. We had pretzels and a popsicle. I'm like 5. So goes. So thank you for joining me. Please hit the thumbs up if you'd be so inclined. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You'll get alerts when we have new videos and when we go live. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All our contact information is listed below as well. We now have memberships available. So please do feel free to join the Smokey deck. The link should be somewhere right around me here where you can click it. It's $2.99 a month and you get access to member perks. So thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with y'all soon. I'll see you in a couple days at least. Okay? Bye.